Ethics in public speaking is an important subject because the ways in which you give your speech, the subjects about which you talk, and the way that you interact with your audience all contribute to speaker credibility, which is really where ethics tends to play a role. So the outline again follows the chapter. We'll talk about what ethics is, what is speaker credibility, and how to make sure that you're citing your sources correctly. So ethics, as you probably already know, is a branch of philosophy. This is the definition that comes from your textbook, and it's important to think about being ethical as a speaker. You want to make sure that you present the truth. There's a lot of discussion in the news about what is fake news, what is accurate, what is providing the facts to your audience, and so making sure that you're an ethical speaker is really important. When it comes to ethical public speaking, you need to think about not only yourself and the values that you hold near and dear to your heart, but also those of your audience. Because if your two senses of morality are very different and you both think of morality in different ways, then it's going to be hard for your audience to accept your message. So it's really important to make sure that you not only have a responsibility to yourself and to uphold what you believe in, but also to make sure that you don't offend your audience. There's a lot of things that when we think about what is an ethical speaker that come to mind. These are some of my favorite adjectives that sort of describe what an ethical speaker ought be. You want to make sure the information they say is reliable and trustworthy, that they're using correct information, that they're being fair to both sides of an issue. All of these things tend to play. When it comes to speaker credibility, it's important to think about what qualities do you think about when someone is being a credible speaker? Do they have to make sure they know their facts? Do they dress up professionally? Are they similar to you? We all have our own definitions of what speaker credibility might be. And so you have to think about, are you embodying those characteristics as a credible speaker so that your audience does in fact want to listen to you? Last thing is plagiarism. Don't do it. If you have a question about how to cite something properly, please ask. It is very important that you don't plagiarize. Not only is it against university policy, which could involve a lot of paperwork and a lot of unnecessary meetings, but also it's intellectual property theft. You're stealing someone else's ideas without giving credit where credit's due. So please make sure that you cite your sources correctly. There is a difference between direct quotes and paraphrasing information, and how you cite that aloud is also important to think about. So if you're citing something with direct quotes in your outline, make sure you put quotation marks about it. If you're still paraphrasing someone's ideas, shortening it, can be summarizing it in a concise way, you still need to cite it. So in an oral citation, typically you want to have the author, the date, when it was published, who said it, if the title of the article matters, but at the very least, those two things have to be sought out loud as you're giving your speech. So there's different ways to plagiarize. Please just don't do it. Again, if you have questions about how to do APA citation, please ask. OWL Purdue also is a very great resource, and it's online and it's free, and it teaches you how to do your citations. So please just make sure that you're not plagiarizing, and if you need help, just ask.